everybody, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is an actor you know from One Night in Miami, Peaky Blinders, and Barbie. He now stars in Bob Marley, One Love.
We're jamming. To think that jamming was a thing of the past. We're jamming. And I hope this jam is gonna last. No bullet can stop us now. We need to beg, no, we won't bow. Neither can be bought nor sold. We all defend the right that children must unite. Oh, life is worth much more than gold. We're jamming, 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 and we're jamming in the name of the Lord. We're jamming, 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 we're jamming right straight from your holy Mount Zion.
Please welcome to The Late Show, Kingsley Ben-Adir. There you go. Good time.
That's so nice. Oh, wow.
Lovely to have you on.
Yes.
Always nice to meet one of the Kens.
Yes.
And, but more importantly, it was just last night. You just came in. Bob Marley, One Love, premiered in Jamaica. Here you are with Bob Marley's son, Ziggy, right there.
Yeah.
What was it like? How did that feel to spend that moment with his family?
Oh, man, it's been a really surreal couple of days. It was probably one of the most, beautiful moments, of my life, you know. There's something... Bob is so loved in that country. Mm-hmm. There is no street you can go down where there is not a picture of him or a plaque of him or... He's everywhere. And, everyone loves Bob. Bob's loved all around the world, but in Jamaica it's really specific. So
you shot some of it there, too,
We
right?
did, yeah. We were in London for 7 weeks, and then we were in Jamaica for 7 weeks.
And did you get to go some of the places he went? Did you see, his life?
Oh, my God, yeah. From the beginning, it was really, the process was really, I auditioned, and then I felt like I was spending time with the family immediately. Mm-hmm. So the family were really a part of my process and getting to know Bob and understand him and who he was.
Well, you are no stranger. Here you are. Let me see if I can get this up here. Here you are as Bob Marley, right there. There you are. And he had a very distinct... way of dancing. He had a very distinct, he had his own style, but you're no stranger to dancing. Here you are dancing with Barbie and the other Kens. There you are, right there. And I'm just curious, what was harder, learning this choreography for they're pretty big musical numbers, or learning to dance accurately like Bob Marley?
Do you know, to be fair, the Barbie dances, they weren't easy. They took a long time.
No, that's why I'm asking. They're very impressive.
They did take a long time, but we had great choreographers on Barbie who, we just did a lot of hours. But Bob's done. Before I auditioned for Bob, I remember there was a performance of him doing War at the Rainbow Theater in London, and I got stuck on it for 3 or 4 days because there's something about the performance at the Rainbow Theater that's just magnetic. And I remember distinctly going, I don't know what's going on there, but there's something really powerful and otherworldly, and it was clear that as an artist, I was like, he's tapping into something, something higher. And as Bob would always say, it's about something higher.
Did you have to tap into something higher to play that?
Well, yeah, we spent a long time just he's really difficult to figure out in terms of movement because he's never choreographed or rehearsed. Mm-hmm. And we spent months and months studying him. Austin and I were just talking about, because we had the same choreographer, Polly. And, but yeah, we did a lot of work on how I dance. And so Polly was trying to figure out how I danced, and then so we could see how it was different to how Bob danced. And we worked out that you know, I had to sort of spend hours pretending I was dancing or I was going out in a club, and she figured out that I'm really gangly. So like, so when I dance, I bounce and I throw my arms everywhere, and she was saying that Bob doesn't do that. It's really kind of deceptive. He's much more still, and she's a better dancer than me, basically.
When I see like the handwritten lyrics of Paul Simon or Paul McCartney or something like that, or if I go to the place where I knew that thing was created, I always feel like it's an accusation that I'm not trying hard enough.
Right.
You know, is there anything that you're going to bring, that you're going to keep from this your knowledge of Bob?
What do you mean? Sorry,
Well, I think when I see this is the place where someone created that thing, and when you actually see the place and you see the handwriting, you go, oh, a human being did that. Something didn't exist, and then this beautiful thing that changed my life did exist because that person took action in that moment and wrote that
100%.
thing. It's like the beauty of the world accuses you of hiding your own beauty. You know, like it's the same way. That is as beautiful to me as seeing that. It's an awe-inspiring as a sunset or a mountain or something like that. And I take it as an accusation that I am not trying hard enough in my own work. I'm curious, what are you going to take away from being Bob?
For Bob, where he worked, you know, that was what was really clear. You know, I spoke to a lot of the, you know, Neville Garrick, Bob's close friend and artistic director. He did all of Bob's album covers and stuff. He was with us on set every day. And he was in the house in Oakley Street in Battersea when Bob was composing Exodus, and he sat in the room with Bob. We lost Neville recently, rest in peace. He was with us every day, but he sat in the room and wrote down the lyrics for Bob as he was composing. And Neville was with me every day on set. And Neville had the book, and he said he sold it a couple of years ago and he regrets it because he had all of Bob's lyrics down. But I couldn't. I'd be doing scenes and I'd be like, Neville, you were here. You were here in this scene. You were here, like you were on stage with Bob. Like, so he was my point, you know. Every Sunday, me and Neville would talk for hours sometimes. And it was trying to understand, you know, the family made it clear to me that they wanted to make a film about Bob that was gonna share a much more personal side to him. He's a hero all around the world, and he's this icon. There's this idea of Bob that we all have, but Bob as a father and Bob as a man and what he was going through at the specific time, 1976 to 78, when there was an assassination attempt on him and the band, and he had to leave and go to London, and that's where the album of Exodus was created. And what Neville told me was that within 12 weeks, they were up and running after the shooting. So there was this trauma and the kind of, the idea of kind of displacement and this intense creative frenzy that they were all on. And Neville told me that Bob wasn't messing around at that time. You know, it was like they were up at 5, they were running in the cold, they'd come back, they'd play a little bit of football, they'd come back, and then they were in the studio from 3 till 3. They'd sleep 2-3 hours, they'd be up again, they'd be doing the same thing, and that's just how it went. And I guess but that's one thing I took from Bob is if you ever think that you've worked hard or you're working hard, like Bob worked, you know. He was I don't want to call him a workaholic, but he was a workaholic. And
there's no substitute.
Yeah.
Well, Kingsley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Bob Marley, One Love is in theaters on February 14th. Kingsley Ben-Adir, everybody. We'll be right back.